So here we have another plastic model of the face. Up here, the frontal belly of Occipito frontalis. Here we have Orbicularis oculi, and here Procerus. Nasalis here, on the lateral surface of the nose there. Here we have Levator labii superioris, being joined by Zygomaticus minor. Here we have Zygomaticus major, and here you can just see part of the levator anguli oris coming out from deep to those other muscles there. So there's levator anguli oris. Here we have risorius running laterally and superficially across the cheek there. Here we have buccinator, a bit deep to risorius, being the muscle of the cheek wall itself. So risorius here, buccinator here. Then we have the orbicularis oris here, and you can see those fibres kind of surrounding the mouth there. On this side then we can see the depressor anguli oris, the depressor labii inferioris, and mentalis. Now on this side, a lot of structures have been removed, so we can still see though nasalis here, and then this is really quite nice, because the zygomaticus muscles and the levator labii superioris have been removed. We can see all of levator anguli oris there on its own. So that's levator anguli oris there coming down to the corner of the mouth. Here's buccinator, so risorius has been removed from over the superficial aspect of that, so we can see all of buccinator there, and we can just see mentalis here on this side. So most of those muscles gone from that side. But then there's more to see on this side. So if we're looking here, we can see some branches of the facial nerve. Now they've actually cut away. This is the parotid gland here, but part of it's been cut away, so we can see that these branches of the facial nerve are coming from inside the parotid gland. So here we've got what has to be the temporal branch running up, hit this way. Here we've got a zygomatic branch, and here we've got buccal, 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 and buccal. Okay, so all of those ones there, buccal. I think what they're getting at here is this one is marginal mandibular running down along the mandible, and I suspect that they mean this one to be cervical because they're showing it ending here. Now if this one carried on, you'd probably say, oh well, that must be marginal mandibular, but because this one is coming down this way and possibly heading down to the platysma, then I'm betting that that one is cervical, this one marginal mandibular, because it looks like it's heading towards the muscles that the marginal mandibular usually innervates. But that's kind of the story with the branches of the facial nerve. You look at what's there and then kind of decide what you're going to name each one. So that's what we can see here on this model for branches of the facial nerve. We can also see a submandibular gland here and a facial artery here running over the mandible. We can also see a superficial temporal artery here, and then we can, on this side here, it's really very lovely. Here on this side we can see a common carotid artery splitting into external and internal carotid arteries. We can see coming off the external carotid artery, the facial artery begins here and comes just medial to the mandible here and then runs over the body of the mandible. We can also see the superficial temporal artery here just anterior to the external acoustic meatus. Oh, and we can see the occipital artery here too. Didn't notice that previously. So there's the occipital artery here and again here. We can also follow the facial artery with its tortuous zigzag course across the face here, and then it becomes the angular artery here. So there's quite a few structures that we can see on this model.